Of course, that intro just giving you a sneak preview of what is yet to come today at Lyon Museum. And of course, it's a beautiful day to have it. Just a little bit of clouds, but it is just the perfect temperature. We welcome you to today's coverage of the first annual Carroll Shelby tribute event exclusively on Lyon TV. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Carroll Shelby Tribute, the first annual here at Lyon Air Museum. And I'm so excited because just look down our parking lot. Cars developed and introduced by the man himself, Carroll Shelby. And that man, Carroll Shelby, born January 11th, 1923, credited with creating the Shelby Cobra, the Daytona, and of course, the household name today, the Shelby Mustang from Ford. It's definitely an event if you're a car enthusiast. We're going to come walk down over here. Of course, we have many major sponsors, which include Hillbank USA, Shelby Legendary Cars, GT40, Superformance. Of course, they brought along their collection of cars. We're going to talk with the CEO of Hillbank in just a minute here. We can find him. But of course, the winners of the People's Choice. We got, of course, a bottle of champagne. So, of course, the winner here, this one is for Superb Performance, Lion Pride, Best of Shelby, and the People's Choice. A little extra thought on the People's Choice. The People's Choice winner will receive a flight on board Air Combat USA, which includes either a WACO flight, just a little local flight around Orange County. It's definitely something that's going to be exciting. So we have the Le Mans number 6 Superformance, the 69 GT40. Of course, we got a little Daytona coupe right next door here. But of course, we got to have coffee, right? Some strong coffee. Of course, Drive Coffee is the official coffee for the first annual Carroll Shelby Tribute Day. Of course, they come in cold brew or hot. So let's get one here. You know? So why not match your coffee with a car? I could just sit down here and enjoy a cup of coffee. It's going to be, that just goes to show it's going to be a great day. I mean, matching, it matches. Okay. Of course, hot dogs. What can go wrong, right? Hot dogs, if you ever get hungry, they're here to serve delicious Chicago dogs or just a regular dog. Got some chips. Okay.
Kevin.
Well, Harley-Davidson is here. Of course, you saw them back in Bikes and Bombers. They're here today. I mean, what's better than 4 wheels than 2? We're going to talk to Kevin here. Where's Kevin? So, you're here.
Yes.
It's not Bikes and Bombers, but it is Carroll Shelby Tribute. So, what do we got here? Let's see. What do we got to win? Let's see.
Actually, we're giving away a Harley at the dealership. You can come in and register. We're giving away a Sportster. We're giving away $50 free gift cards.
$50. I
Give away 3 of those today, so pretty excited.
I wasn't aware of that. I should get on that.
We did bring them.
We about a bike. Let's take a look at this bike. What is this?
This is a 2019 Road Glide Special. This is actually, the Special comes now with a 114 cubic inch motor, so you got all kinds of horsepower, torque, more than you can do, and to top it off, it's just absolutely gorgeous. Kind of fits in with the rest of these things.
And it looks like it's like the cruise. You cruise down PCH, with a helmet.
Absolutely, absolutely. We encourage people to wear a good helmet, actually. And this thing is just designed for getting out there and doing some touring.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it looks fun. Not meant for the racing,
Oh, well, actually, with the 114-inch motor, she'll keep up pretty good. It gets right along, so puts out a bunch of torque, which moves these bigger motorcycles around, and they're actually quite nimble.
Okay. Wow. Okay. We'll have to get a video when it leaves, when you hear that sound.
Absolutely. Love to.
Well, thanks, Kevin.
You're very welcome.
Harley-Davidson. Let's keep going here. We got many things here. Of course, after Harley-Davidson, we have here the Cobra in the barn. this Cobra was found inside of a barn and then fully restored. I mean, look at that red paint, the number 22. It just looks amazing. Not to be biased, but this is my favorite color. Of course, lining up this lineup right here, these Shelby, these Cobras and Shelbys, they're one of the original produced Shelbys. Very rare to find, and of course we wanted to showcase them front and center in our parking lot. Of course, move along here, Ford GT40. More fun cars. We're going to talk with Lance, CEO of Hillbank, in a few minutes here. We're going to head down here and look at some of the cars that we have. Many different cars of all varieties. Of course, honoring the legend, the creator, Carroll Shelby. So we're going to go walk down. Maybe we get to talk to some people. So let's keep going. So let's see. What would you say? This is about half a mile of parking lot, 0.25 maybe. We don't know. We don't know. We got a Daytona, the first that arrived this morning here at the Carroll Shelby event, parked front and center. Of course, we go over from the older Shelby Cobras, Daytonas, to more modern Mustangs, you know, GT500s, GT350, Tiger. Look at that. What's on the top? There's a little tiger on top. So cute. Oh my gosh. Of course, we got more Cobra 427. Oh, let's take a look at this engine. Look here. Just admiring the engineering and the power and performance inside a Cobra and these engines. It's amazing. And then as we go along, we see all the different types of engines in each of the cars. Some 427s, GT350s, Shelby GTs. Then we had more modern era. And that's just some of the cars that we got to that are along our parking lot here that we got to see for our that came out today for our first annual Carroll Shelby tribute event. Let's head over center stage for the introductions.
Welcome you to the first annual Carroll Shelby tribute here at Lyon Air Museum. And before we forget, I want to recognize Lance Stander here for not only helping make this all happen from Hillbank, but also because it is his birthday today. So happy birthday to Lance. Can't think of a better thing to do on your birthday than be here at a Cobra event, huh? Yeah. So the way this is going to work, we just started our voting, and what we need for everybody to do is it's a people's choice vote. So you have to come up here to the lobby outside here, and we'll have pencils and little forms, and you can walk around and pick the car that you think is the neatest. So whichever car you like, there's no real criteria other than if it just makes your heart beat a little faster, that's the car you want to do. And so you turn that in, and then the voting, that's from 10 to 11:30. Please turn in your ballots before 11:30. We'll tally them up quickly, and at 11:45 on the spot, we will announce the People's Choice winner along with 3 other categories. And the 3 other categories are it's going to be the best Superformance car, and there's going to be the Lion's Pride Award, which the Lion family will pick, and then there's going to be the best Shelby. But the People's Choice, and that's where you all come into play, you'll be picking your favorite car for that. And then at 12, at high noon, we're going to do something called the Lion Roar. And the Lion Roar, we're just going to ask anybody who's close enough to their cars to get in them. And we're just going to fire them up and just kind of rev them up for just a minute. We're not going to smog everybody out, but we're just going to run them so we can feel that thunder for just about a minute. And then after that, cars will start leaving probably about 1 o'clock. And we do want to invite you to come into Lion Air Museum. There's just a nominal fee, but you come into Lion Air Museum, and there's some really neat cars in there. There's some Shelby cars in there, along with some other cars. We have the famous Hitler Mercedes in there that you just saw on Autobiography and recently. And a lot of other aircraft and docents and neat things to see. So don't forget to do that. And I'm going to turn the microphone over to Lance real quick, because I'm sure he's got something to say to welcome you as one of our major sponsors for this.
Hi, thanks very much, Mark. I broke it. And thank to everybody for coming out. What a wonderful event. What a wonderful facility. It's a dream for me. I've actually always wanted to come to the Lion Museum. Okay, it's going. It never got around to getting there. But especially thank you to all my friends, my customers, and my family that came out. It was great to have them here for my birthday. Really looking forward to the event. You guys enjoy it, and I'll see you all at the show. Thanks.
And one last thing, I do want to recognize a few of the other sponsors. Air Combat USA and Skythrills has offered to give a certificate to the People's Choice. The winner of that will get a ride at a later date, but in a Waco biplane. And then we also want to recognize Drive Coffee. They're here providing free coffee here at the end. And then, of course, again, Hillbank and Superformance and Shelby Legendary Cars, their support here at Lyon Air Museum.
Lyon TV's coverage of the first annual Carroll Shelby Tribute Day is brought to you by Hillbank USA, Superformance, Shelby Legendary Cars, and Drive Coffee. Now let's look at some cars that are amazing. I'm so excited. Lots of cars that came in. Cobras, modern Mustangs. It's got some 427, 1966 Cobra, Shelby GTs, GT 500s. Oh, of course, look, just take a look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 Cobras all lined up just in this little section right here. I mean, this is a great event. I mean, I am so excited. So currently right now, the People's Choice is currently in progress. 4 different categories that you can win. And the voting's in the process, just going to close in just a few minutes. And then we'll tally up the votes and announce it. Now we're joined by Lance, the CEO of Hillbank. Well, first of all, before we start, happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, 21 again. No, 58. I'm running up to 60. I'm trying to get away from it, but it's happening. It's happening.
Well, we're glad to have you here as a core sponsor for first annual Carroll Shelby Tribute. So tell us, what does Hillbank do?
Okay, so Hillbank is one of the largest retailers in the world of Shelby 60s vehicles. It specializes in sports cars, all the cars that made the 60s famous and the world championship winning cars. And as you can see in the background, we have from the GT40 to the Cobras that Carroll did, to the Daytona Coupe. We've got everything. So and Hillbank specializes in that. And they also do Mustang work and other fancy stuff and funny stuff.
All the fancy stuff. So let's take a look. Let's take a look around some of the. So what is your favorite car in your line? Do you have a favorite?
At the moment, my favorite is my Future 40 at the moment, and it's hard for me to pick a favorite amongst my cars because they're all great. But the Future 40 is just so nice. It is the GT40 with all the fun that you get with it, but with a modern drivetrain. And we've used the Le Mans winning paint scheme from 2016 that Ford won Le Mans again after 50 years. So that's my. But I've always loved the Daytonas, and there's nothing like a Cobra on the Pacific Coast Highway. It's just so much fun. And then you take the World Championship winning Shelby Daytona that Bob Bondurant won the World Championship with. You don't get anything more pleasurable than that to drive.
Oh, and then just drives probably along PCH. They're probably nice, huh?
It's amazing. Every one of these cars have air conditioning. You can drive them on the street, or you can go to Le Mans, go to a racetrack and go race and have fun.
Oh my gosh, that is so. So what is its top speed?
So we haven't run that one yet, but back in the 60s when they had roughly 500, a little more than 500 horsepower, they were going 226 miles an hour at Le Mans. So we now with over 700 horsepower in the car, so who knows where it will go.
Wow, well thank you so much for being a sponsor here, and we'll see you over in Center Stage to announce the winners.
Thanks very much, and thanks for hosting us, and thanks for allowing all my friends to come out to such a wonderful event and your wonderful location. I really thank you guys for all that you did for us.
Well, thank you. We're glad to have you. Lyon TV's coverage of the first annual Carroll Shelby Tribute is brought to you by Air Combat USA and Skythrills and GT40. Voting has closed. The ballots are being counted. The winners of the 4 categories for today's first annual Carroll Shelby Tribute will be announced. Stick around.
Okay, so we're going to announce, we have four categories here. And I think the first one, that speaker, we'll stand over here. Those are over there, I'm going to be right here. The first one that we're going to talk about is going to be we'll do the Superformance deal. Okay. And so Lance and I walked around and a lot of other input from people, and we wanted a Superformance car that just kind of best represented what we're doing here today. And we found one, and it's a Mark I, it's a GT40, and David is standing right over here. And David, I've never said your last name out loud, so I'm going to make sure I get it. Yes, Salco? Yeah. There we go, we got it. So congratulations to David. I think that's a non-alcoholic drink, but I wouldn't drink it before you drive home.
Can we get you guys right here? Lance, we can get you.
Yeah, you can do the Gertie celebration, 67 Le Mans, right there.
There you go. Hey, Lance.
Okay, and now the second one that we're going to be doing is the Lion's Pride, and this was the Lyon family. And you see Bill Lyon right here, put you on the spot, and the rest of the family right here. They walked around, looked at every car, and I think they gave me about 30 different choices to narrow it down because there were so many cool cars here, we just didn't know which one to do. And on cue, the sound of a nice healthy engine in the background. So we finally did, they narrowed it down, and they came out with a beautiful CSX 2000 series original Cobra. It's CSX 2246, which is David Pyle's beautiful kind of a greenish blue metallic car with the red interior over here. So that was the Lion's Pride vehicle. And where is he? David Pyle, he might be inside. Dave, we'll find, and we'll give that to him. Yeah, must be present to win. Okay, so we're going to drag our feet a little bit, but then there is another award level, and this was Best Shelby. And Best Shelby, that's another one that was really hard to pick because there's so many great Shelby-related vehicles here. But we did narrow it down, and this car is a really interesting car. And I'll tell a little history, which will give it away as I tell it. I think it's really important that we do. This car was it was a privateer raced car, so it was raced, you know, in the '60s by people who weren't sponsored by the factory, and it was over in Hawaii, and it was left in Hawaii, and for years and years it was just kind of squirreled away in a garage, and you know, its owner, which Mark Gardner is here, he got it, put it together, and it's the beautiful red Shelby Cobra, makes the Best Shelby Award, and here he comes right now. Mark, you won. I told you, don't go away, right? so that's Best Shelby. Okay, there you go. Sure. Yeah, there you go.
Mark, get away from right here. You think we get the sign?
Oh, okay.
Step in just a hair. Here we go. There you go.
All right, here we go.
Thank you. This way, guys.
And we
Okie doke.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mark. Appreciate it.
Okay, and now that brings us to the People's Choice. The People's Choice Award, not only did they get a bottle of possibly alcoholic stuff, but we also, that person's going to win a certificate for a flight in the yellow Waco biplane by Skythrills and Air Combat. The plane is not here today because it's having maintenance done somewhere else. I seem to know that feeling. But some of my friends will laugh since my Cobra's not here. First annual Cobra event, my car's not here. Oh my gosh. Anyway, the Waco biplane will be flown at a future date when the annual inspection's done, and that will be the winner of the People's Choice. And the People's Choice Award, I'm dragging my feet because we have a repeat on this. The car, the beautiful kind of greenish, bluish with the red interior, that ended up being the People's Choice car as well. So David Pyle has got two.
Is that David?
No, I wish that was David.
Oh, will you represent David?
I can represent him.
Okay.
I do that a lot.
Yeah,
but,
there you go.
He will be back, but probably not until 1:45. He had to take somebody to the airport.
Oh,
Not
okay.
this airport.
Okay.
So
And he did take the Cobra.
he did not take the Cobra.
Yeah,
but,
which makes for a great Uber car.
he'll do that in about an hour.
Somebody Uber and they show up in a Cobra. That's
Yeah.
always fun. Okay, well, fantastic. So now what we're going to do, if I haven't forgotten anything, is my watch stopped. So hold on. Okay. In 6 minutes from now, we're going to encourage anybody who's near their car that has a healthy engine, so not the cars in the parking lot that you brought that aren't Shelby related, to get your car, and we're just going to fire them up, and we're just going to let them run for a few minutes, not to slog anybody out, but let them run, maybe rev them up a little bit when they get some oil pressure and temperature, and then shut them down. So just a couple minutes. We're going to call that the Lion Roar, and it's going to become a tradition, we think, in the future. So that's it, at high noon. So please get to your car, do that.
We'll go. Okay. So I know you're busy. So it's the first annual event. How is it going so far?
Well, look at it. Looks pretty fantastic. You know, we've got so many great cars. I mean, we've got cars that are legendary here. You know, we've got that car that's they wrote a book about it called the Cobra in the Barn. Yes. And you know, that car basically was a privateer raced car in the 60s, went to Hawaii, raced there, then got squirreled away in a barn somewhere, and it was found years ago and restored. That car's here. That was the 23rd Cobra ever built. It's CSX 2022, and they start at 2000. That was the prototype, so 23 cars, and that's that. So we've got some other original Cobras. We've got Daytona, mostly their continuation or replica Daytonas. We've got GT40s here. We've got some GT350s and GT500s. So we've got some great cars here. And then, you know, it's not always about the cars, it's about the people too, right? So we've got all these interesting, met a guy named Bernie who's was one of the original Venice crew guys. You know, he was working for Shelby, mostly at LAX, I believe, but working on the cars in the 60s, and he was 24 years old. And, you know, so pretty interesting stuff to see these guys here. We got another Shelby American guy here named Bruce Jr. He actually was production manager at LAX when Shelby moved to LAX. So we got some pretty interesting people here, and that with the airplanes and our World War II veterans and everybody else, you can't beat it.
It's a great event.
Yep.
It's definitely on the calendar for next year, right?
Absolutely. We got to do this. This is going to be an every year thing. Yeah, I've already got people saying, hey, when are you going to do it next year? And you know, for a first time, you know, we filled the parking lot. So, you know, next year we're going to have to open up our parking lot even more because I think we'll have even more cars.
Oh, it's going to be great for next year. I mean, I can see as the eyes just, you know, just see it, you can just keeps going and it's going.
Just want to say one last thing is we couldn't do this without the Lyon Air Museum staff and volunteers. And so that includes you and Jade and Corinne and the others and all the volunteers. That's what makes this event all work. So
Well, thank you so much.
Okay, it's gonna be loud.
Thanks so much for watching and joining us. Congratulations to the 4 winners of the event today. We'll see you at the next event. Till we meet again, and blue skies to you.